Good morning, everyone. In our last class, we discussed the introduction and scope of microbiology. Can anyone recall some applications of microbiology? Yes, like in medicine, agriculture, industry, and the environment. Excellent. Today, we'll take it a step further and learn about the classification of microorganisms and their characteristics. First, why do you think classifying microorganisms is important? Maybe to organize and study them better? That's right. Classification helps scientists identify, study, and understand microorganisms systematically. We follow a system called taxonomy, which includes 1. Classification grouping organisms. 2. Nomenclature naming them. 3. Identification recognizing and describing them. So, are microorganisms classified like plants and animals? Yes, but with some differences. Microorganisms are classified into 5 kingdoms based on their structure, mode of nutrition, and reproduction. Let's go through them. 1. Monera. These are prokaryotic organisms like bacteria. They lack a nucleus. 2. Protista. These are unicellular eukaryotes like protozoa and algae. 3. Fungi. These include molds and yeasts. They are mostly multicellular and absorb nutrients from organic matter. 4. Plant. Though not all plants are microorganisms, some microscopic algae fall into this group. 5. Animalia. Some microscopic animals, like helminths, are included here. What's the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes? Good question. Prokaryotes, for example bacteria, lack a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotes, for example fungi, algae, have a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Let's also look at some major groups of microorganisms. 1. Bacteria, unicellular, prokaryotic organisms. Some are harmful, but others are useful in making antibiotics and digesting food. 2. Viruses, acellular organisms that need a host to replicate. They cause diseases like influenza and COVID-19. 3. Fungi include yeasts, molds, and mushrooms. Some cause infections, while others are used in food production. 4. Protozoa, unicellular eukaryotes, often found in water. Examples include amoeba and plasmodium. 5. Algae, photosynthetic organisms, some of which are microscopic. How do we observe these microorganisms? That's where the microscope comes in. We use techniques like staining to make them visible. For example, in the Gram staining method, bacteria are classified as gram-positive or gram-negative. Why is Gram staining important? It helps in identifying bacteria and determining the right treatment. For example, antibiotics for gram-positive bacteria might differ from those for gram-negative bacteria. Now, let's summarize. Microorganisms are classified into 5 kingdoms and are either prokaryotic or eukaryotic. They include bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa, and algae, each with unique characteristics and roles. Will we learn how to use a microscope in the lab? Absolutely. In our next class, we'll focus on the structure of bacteria, followed by a practical session on using the microscope to observe bacterial slides. Any questions before we wrap up? Should we read anything specific before the next class? Yes, review the bacterial cell structure and bring your lab manuals for the practical session. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next class.